They spend their time, their most valuable resource, right? And that they don't get. It's a non-renewable resource. Once you spend it, it's gone. And they spend their time, which is essentially their life, wasting away, for a paycheck, right? For money. Okay, so that's time. So that's what I learned. So how do you solve this, right? How do you fix this? Well, Bronnie Ware wrote a book called Regrets of the Dying, and she found there were like 5 top regrets. The very first one is most people, regret that they kind of lived according to other people's plans instead of their own plans. Second is that they didn't stay really connected with friends and those that they love. Third is they felt like they didn't do the mission or the work or the purpose they were called to do. They went to default mode, right? But they didn't really do what they were called to do and love to do and they're meant to do. Fourth is to be happy, just to be naturally happy. And then fifth one is they kind of regretted that they worked too hard. They paid the price, right? They spent too much time trading their time, essentially trading their life for a paycheck. Hello, C. Savant here. Before we dive into the video, I just wanted to really first off say thank you for being here. And because you're actually here, I have a couple of gifts for you. The very first gift is our book, Just Do This. I wrote this book to share how you can actually take your most valuable asset, which is you, to turn it into one irresistible high value offer. You see, if you don't do that, then what your only offer is to trade your time for a little bit of someone else's money, like my parents did. They worked so hard for most of their life, Monday through Friday, full-time, 2 full-time jobs, another full-time job on the weekend. My parents made $2.4 million. The only problem is it took them a combined 69 years to make it. My dad worked for his company for 36 years. My mom worked for her companies for 33 years just to retire broke, retiring where they had more time than they actually had money. And one thing I realized from that is it's not the amount of money that we actually make, it's the speed in which we actually make it so that we have more time to actually enjoy it. So showing you how to actually create your high ticket offer. Second is to market yourself consistently. You cannot be the best kept secret. You cannot be the secret weapon that nobody knows about. To walk you through how to actually market yourself, how to gain visibility and get known, get seen by your audience. And then third is share with you how to make more offers. You see, if you do have something that you can help your clients, you can solve a problem, you can help people achieve a payoff, then you got to make offers, right? You got to make an offers to your ideal clients. Otherwise, you're doing yourself and you're doing your clients a disservice for doing so. So that is my first gift, is our book. Second is a masterclass. It's called the Wealth and Freedom Accelerator Masterclass. I created that to really walk you through choose life first, your life, your very best life first as the destination. What does that look like? What's your dream life look like? And decide, and to live your dream life first. Take care of yourself first and figure out what's happiness to you. What does a fulfilled look like to you? If time and money were no longer an issue, how would you be living first? And then second is business as the vehicle, right? To choose business, just like I said, not a job, not a career, not a profession, but a business, right? To create an offer, to create a business, create a brand as the vehicle that will help you not only just build wealth, but achieve freedom and time freedom as well. And then third is people as the fuel, how to leverage people, how to leverage coaches, people who can help you go faster, how to model after success, how to leverage your peer group, have a group of people that you run with. They talk about you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. I don't believe in that. I believe that you are the people you allow to influence you the most. So again, how to leverage people, and then how to leverage a team, people who are better than you, that you can actually leverage so that they can actually complete you. So that's my 2 gifts for you. And then the third is, if I'm going to invite you to attend our Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge. It's a challenge where we're going to walk you through how to live your dream life, how to love your dream business, build a business you're absolutely in love with, waking up every single day doing what you know and love. And then third is how to leverage your dream team, how to delegate and automate your business. And then lastly, if this video helped you, I would love to have you to do three things. One is to like this video and comment your biggest takeaways, and then most importantly, subscribe so that when we drop a new training for you, you can actually be alerted as well. So again, I really appreciate you for being here, and subscribing to our channel is free, and we promise you we will not let you down with our content. So again, appreciate you being here. Thank you very, very much. Let's dive right into the video. This morning I'm walking towards an event center. I'm actually sitting right down the street from Hotel Floor, which is right there in downtown Tampa, and at Myron Golden's event called Multi-Millions, and we just wrapped up day 2, and today's just meeting with a client there over breakfast, and I wanted to come share with you my biggest takeaways from the event and things that I've actually learned really this year as I'm waiting for my wife to come out of our Airbnb here, and we're just doing a nice little walk there because it's such a beautiful weather here. And the three things I'm going to share with you has to do with first one is money, second is time, and then third is purpose. Okay, money, time, and purpose. So let's start with time first. If you really think about we all want more time, but we really can't, right? We all get 24 hours in a day. We all get 365 days worth of time, a year, all of those things. So it's what you actually do within the time. And the Hypnotic Society, or the world's plan, we'll call it, right? World's plan, not God's plan, world's plan. Basically says you conditions us, or creates us really to be consumers, to trade our time for a paycheck, right? To build a job, get a job, right? Or build a career, get that dream job, the dream career, right? If you really think about it, you get asked this question when you were younger. What do you want to be when you grow up? That question alone creates this box, right? Creates this primes you to say that that's the way to do things, that's the way to live, that's the way to be, right? So you choose a profession, and a lot of times the profession is in these cards or in a book or somewhere, right? I know mine were in a card, where when I was asked in school one time, who do I want to be when I grow up, these cards in front of me, right, had politician and doctor, dentist, had engineer, had software engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, had mechanic, a policeman, or fireman, all of these things. So then you choose according to those cards or what's in the book. And then what also happens is once you choose, they also tell you what you're worth, right? So if you're electrical engineer, you are paid this much to this much. So they not only tell you want to choose who you want to be when you grow up, you also get to choose the amount of money that you should be making according to that profession. So then you go and so what do you do with your time? You go to school for 25 years. Think about this math problem, 25 years, and then you work for another 40 years, and then you retire when you're 65, and spend the last remaining of your 10 or 15 years of your life free, retired, and retire happy, and hope that everything works out according to plan. That math is, there's a problem with that math, right? If you really think about it. So most people go down this road and they spend their time, their most valuable resource, right? And that they don't get. It's a non-renewable resource. Once you spend it, it's gone. And they spend their time, which is essentially their life, wasting away, for a paycheck, right? For money. Okay, so that's time. So that's what I learned. So how do you solve this, right? How do you fix this? Well, you got to find a way to spend our time that we have differently, right? Because it's not the amount of money that you make. It's about the time or the speed in which you actually can make it, so that you actually have more time to enjoy it. That's really what it is, right? So let's go to money. So again, you chose this profession, and then you go to work, right? And you're paid according to what they tell you. You're paid according to that profession. And then, so how do you do it differently? Well, if you really think about it, right? That part of the world creates consumers. That's really what it does. It creates consumers. But we were actually created to create. So think about this, right? God is the creator. Created heavens, the earth, created everything, right? God's a creator. God created us. So God is a source, right? So we are the resource. We created as a resource of, God puts all these ideas. He puts all these this imagination, right? That is infinite, right? Quite honestly, right? These ideas, these infinite to create. So, if you want to make more money, then think of yourself as the resource. You have things that you know, things that you love, things that you have lived, right? And you could teach somebody else that. You can share that with somebody else, share strategies, share frameworks, share the way to do things that works, right? So share systems, create something, right? Create and sell something. Because once you create it, let's say, I'll just get an example, you write a book. You just create it one time, right? Only one time. And that thing that you create, your book, becomes a replenishing asset, right? Which then allows you to make money from that, and you can buy things and stuff. You buy cars, houses, things like that with your creation. So in this particular way, speed, you're going to make more money through your creation. The more valuable your creation is, the more wealthy you'll be. That's it, right? Because that's what all the marketplace cares about is if all wealth is just creating value for someone other than yourself, whether it's a book, whether it's a physical product, whether it's a car, whether it's a coaching program, a mastermind, a service. It doesn't matter. You create that asset, right? And once you create it one time, then you can just continuously sell. You create it one time, it continues making you money. It becomes a replenishing asset, which then gives you money, right? Tools, so you can buy more things and stuff. Does that make sense? So that's when it comes to money. And then third is your purpose, right? Your calling. If you really think about this, I had a client, which I'm actually going to have breakfast with right now, and it's kind of having a hard time like creating an offer. That's what I do, is help people create offers, right? And we've been trying to, work on his offers, doing it, and I found something that, yesterday over breakfast, actually, I was like, let me ask you a question. I said, you've been involved with so many things. Like, you've learned, you've been in part of the Tony Robbins for a long time. You've done so many things. You've started so many careers, jobs, made so much money, did so many different roles. Why have you not created a coaching offer to help those who are, your younger version or your old version of yourself, right? With all the things that you know. And he's like, I've been thinking about that. So he was like, here's what I've been thinking. I want to help people, transition, people who are retiring, people who are, on the way to retirement, and kind of really figure out what's the purpose of their life after retirement, because that's kind of where he's at. I'm like, oh, interesting. So he started listing all these things, like maybe I can help them write a book, maybe I can help them do this, and this is listed like 10, 15 things. I'm like, oh my God, like start somewhere, right? Because what you did there was you just found your purpose. You found your purpose to help these men who are your age. What's next? Because that's where you're at. So that's really your purpose. God put you through this, what you're going through right now, how you're feeling, because he wants you to create an offer based on that. And he's like, oh my God, I didn't realize that. And he's like, so just start. Don't worry so much of what's in it and all the things you have to do. That's just really overwhelming. You threw like 15 things at me. What if you just said, hey, you help people capture what they've lived, right? A decade of their life every time. So if there's somebody is 60, you're going to help them create from the first 10 years of their life, the next 20 years, the next 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. You're right. What if you just help them write a book and capture So this way they can leave their, the legacy that they leave is not just things and stuff, but what they know, what they've learned, what they've lived through, right? How they can share to help younger generations, their children, their grandchildren, avoid mistakes that they made, or speed up their success, or look at life differently, things like that. Why not help them write a book? He's like, and it lit him up. I'm like, oh wow, that's it. So he found his purpose in life, right? His calling, his personal calling. So that's what he's gonna do, help people write books. And then the second thing is that what if you also help them document, like create a documentary for themselves, right? What if you just sat down and interviewed them, to have them share their first 10 years of their life? Who were they? What were they doing? What were they focused on? Right? How were they growing up from 0 to 10? Right? What they actually remembered, and then do another interview from 10 to 20, and do another interview from 20 to 30, and do another interview from 30, 40, 40, 50, 50 to 60, and then, and if they're ready to do their 60s and 70s, you do that, and then what you do is you have your team edit that, right, and it turns into like a documentary so that they can actually leave that behind to their children, right? So that their children, like I was saying, I was like, man, and his brother had just passed away. I said, look at your brother. Your brother passed away. What's left of him that people can remember him by? He's like, yeah, you're right. I'm saying that. My dad, for example, I wanted to do this for my dad. My dad passed away a couple years ago, and I shared with him, man, I wish I would have had somebody do this, because me and my wife actually even talked about interviewing my dad, just so we can capture some videos. But I'm like, man, wouldn't it be nice to interview my dad, like what his life was, his first 10 years, and first 20 years, and 30 years, and 40 years, and all that stuff, to capture, so that my kids can actually learn more about their grandpa, right? Because I didn't know about my grandma, I didn't know about my grandpa, right? And what if I did that for my mom? She's still living, right? To kind of so they get to know her, and things like that. So he's like, oh my God, I said, that's such a great offer. So create an offer according to that. So he found his purpose, right? So in this video, again, guys, I just wanted to share with you like my three biggest takeaways. Like, so many takeaways, but again, it involves time, right? Time. It's not, because if you don't see yourself as the most valuable resource, then all you're doing is, your only offers is to trade your time, which is your life, for a little bit of someone else's paycheck, right? In terms of money, it's not about the money you make. Like my parents made $2.4 million, but the problem is, it took them 69 years combined to make that. My dad worked for his company for 36 years, my mom for 33 years, right? It's a speed in which you make it, so that you can actually have more time to actually spend, enjoy it, right? And then third is, again, your purpose in life, right? What your personal calling, and sharing an example of that. What is your calling? There's something that God has placed within you, creativity within you, that you need to turn into an offer. Right, so that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. So again, have an amazing rest of the day. Hello, Sisavan here. I hope you enjoyed and took a lot from this video. And again, for being here, we have a few gifts for you. Again, below we have a link to get our book, Just Do This. So please grab that. It's going to walk you through how to turn yourself into a high-ticket offer, how to market yourself, how to sell and make enough more offers. Second is our Wealth and Freedom Masterclass. It's really designed to walk you through how to live your dream life first, how to choose a business as the vehicle, and then how to leverage people as the fuel for you to close the gap between where you are to where you actually want to go. And then third is, if you are looking to live life on your terms, right, to be able to build a business also that allows you to live, to work, to earn from anywhere. If you're looking to delegate and automate with people, then we're inviting you to our Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge. And then fourth and finally, if you took a lot from this video and you actually want more, please comment your biggest takeaways from this particular video, and most importantly, subscribe. It's free to do so. So that this way you can be alerted every single time we actually drop a video for you, some more additional training. And again, our content will not let you down. Again, thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you very much for being here. We'll see you on the next video.